Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I'm with you because I've been challenged by Crafting with Gertie to make 3 boxes. Now I am going to do the first 2 boxes in this video, which will come after the third one, if that makes any sense, because the challenge is you do 2 boxes off camera and 1 box on camera, but I thought it'd be quite useful for you to see the first 2 as well. So I thought I'd come on and do those 2 boxes, but I'll release it after I've done the third box. I really do hope that makes sense. Anyway, I have my little scoreboard because we're going to need that. You are allowed to use 1 die, but I'm not using any dies or anything in this. So it really is just going to be me trying to work out how to make 3 different boxes. So I'm going to use red cardstock, and the reason why I'm using red cardstock is because once I finish these boxes, I am going to decorate them up and I'm going to use them as like to put gifts in for Christmas. So yeah, now very quickly, I've just got a bit of a paper here, so I'm going to show you the first style of box that we are going to make. So the first thing I need to do a base. So this is going to be like a matchbox, and this is how I work out. Now I only want the matchbox to be quite small, so I'm thinking along the lines of maybe 4 inches. So this will be 4 inches by 2.5 inches. So that'll be 2.5 inches. So that's going to be the base of my box. Now I need the sizes, like the sides, and I'm thinking maybe 1 inch up the side. So we're going to pop on 1 inch up the side. So this is how I work out how I'm going to make my boxes. So let's just put the sides on. Now we will need the little flaps as well on the side, so let's just pop them in so I know to keep them in. So this is going to be 1 inch, this is going to be 1 inch, this will be 1 inch, and this will be 1 inch. So now I can get the full measurement of what size paper I need. So for the first box we're going to need so going this way, we need 1 inch plus 4 inch plus 1 inch. So we need a sheet of paper that is 6 inches. And then if we go this way, we're going to need 1 inch plus 2.5 inches plus 1 inch. So we need 6 inches by a 4.5 inch piece of paper. So let's get I'm dropping everything. Our guillotine out, or our trimmer. So I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock down to 6 inches by 4.5 inches. Okay, so we're going to just do that. So that is the start of the base of my box. So now what I know, looking at my little diagram, I need to score down 1 inch on all sides. So all I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to score 1 inch. Oh, so 1, turn my paper and do 1 inch again, turn my paper and score at 1 inch again, and then turn my paper and score at 1 inch. Oh, I'll be back in a second. About that, husband rang me, but he rings my house phone instead. Well, he rings the house phone instead of my mobile, which means that I have literally no time whatsoever. I have to run to get it because it only does about 3 rings and then it goes off. So that was interesting. But he was just he's at work today, so he was just ringing to see how I was. He rings me every break. How lovely is that? So yeah. Oh, anyway. Well, what am I doing? Yes, so now that I've done those score lines, I'm just cutting in. You see where these little squares are? I'm just going up and cutting in and then taking out a slither from each side, and this is so that it doesn't hang over the edge, because you'll find that if you don't do this, the box just doesn't sit right. So it's definitely something that you need to do. So we're just going to do all of those. So it's a very straightforward box. The only difference with like the matchstick ones is instead of us. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a piece around it, and then you push the box in and out. So that's the only difference. So now I'm going to fold all of my lines over. Really, you could do that before you do this, but I always forget to do it before. I always do it after I've done all my cuts. So yeah, anyway, so that's that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my glue, and we are going to, I've totally cut that sort of really strangely, but it's fine, is I'm just going to pop some glue on these edges like so, and we are going to stick these down. So all I do is I just line up my corners and then I push. Now you can use double-sided tape. It would probably work well. You'll get it would adhere straight away if you were to use double-sided tape, but I just use my glue. I just find it, personally, I just find it easier. So yeah, but you use whatever it is you would prefer to use. So yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna line these ones up again, and there is the base of that box. So that is what we've just created. Now we need to create a flap that goes around. So this is where, now please bear in mind, I've never done one of these, but I really wanted to have a go. So I've got this bit of card, and looking at it, it's definitely going to fit. So we just have to work out where we're going to score it and where we're going to stick it and how big it needs to be. So this is where you need a ruler. Let me grab my ruler. So I know the length of my box, now that it's all put together, it needs to be 4 inches. So I need to put this down to 4 inches. So let's line that up and let's put that down. Okay. Now this is where we need to do our scoring. So I need the centre of our box bit to fit around 2.5. I mean, I measured it just in case I have to add in like 1/8 or something. So, so that's 2.5. This should be 1 inch, and it is. But I'm thinking we might need to leave a little bit of space. So I'm thinking if I score at 1.5, and then at 2.5. Okay, then at then at 5, like so. I'm going to have to turn that around because that needs to be a 1 inch mark. So if I had my bigger scoreboard, you would then score at 6. So I'm just score in 1 there, hoping this is right. Okay, so let's just fold these over, and then I'm going to trim down that end bit in a moment. So just like this, although I might not need to. If that's 2.5 inches, that end bit, actually yeah, we'll be fine. So we are going to be completely fine. And then what we want to do, I'm just going to put my little box in like so. So we're going to just fold it over, and the reason why I'm putting my little box in while I glue it down is because then I know it's going to be a proper fit. So let's do that. So I'm just going to lay that on there, and then that's going to just get glued onto there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some glue on this bit, and then I'm going to pop a bead of glue just going along that edge, and then I know that it's going to be nice and secure. And then making sure that nothing's going to be, like, it's all going to be lined up. We're just going to glue that down like so. So there we have our little matchbox. How cool is that? Isn't that so cool? So that is our first box that we've done. Now I've took it all the way out. It should fit back in. You could put like little truffles or something in it, couldn't you, for Christmas? I really like that. There's our first box all created. So that's how I work out how to do my boxes for that one. The second box, I'm thinking we do it all in one. And by that I mean we have the lid, we have the box itself. Everything will all be on one sheet of paper, so it's just one cut. So just grab my pen again. So the base of it, I'm going to do it as, let's do it as 3 now I've got to be careful. No, let's make it a little cube box. So let's do 2.5 inches. So that's 2.5 and that's 2.5. So then I want the box to be, yeah, we're going to do a cube. So this needs to be 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 and 2.5. So let's put 2.5 in all of these. Now because I want to add the lid onto this, the next bit I need to add another bit that is 2.5 inches, and then I need a little bit for the bit that goes in. I'm going to have that at 1 inch. So now this, I know this shape is what I need for my box. So when we add it together, it might be I need to go and get 12 by 12. So we need 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 inches. Actually, I think we're going to be okay. So we need a piece that is 11 inches by, so that's 5, 6, 7.5 inches. So that's what I need to cut it down. So I have my cardstock here. Let's get my bigger one out, and let's cut this down. So let me just move my coffee and stuff. Actually, I'm going to have a drink of my coffee first. And then let's cut our piece of paper down. So again, I'm using red cardstock, so we want 11 inches. Okay. So there, by 7.5 inches. Okay. Just like that. Now I need to swap out my tool. Let me get my little toolbox, because I'm going to have to use the bigger scoreboard for this. So looking at our little diagram, let me just get, come on, out you come. Oh, I can never get these out. There we go. Let's put our score bit in. Right, perfect. So let's get our little diagram. So what I am wanting to do now is, I know that I want to measure 2.5 inches just along there, like so. And then I want to score that at 2.5 inches. And I want to turn it round and I want to score the other side at 2.5 inches. So let's get that in as well. So just like that. Then looking at this, we want to then score 2.5 inches on the bottom. So again, 2.5 inches. And then I'm going to go up to 5 inches, because that's like another 2.5 inches added on. Then another 2.5 inches. So we're doing it in 2.5 inch increments. And then one more, which should leave us with 1 inch right at the end. So I know it's looking complex right now, but it is going to be fine. So let's fold it. So we've basically done lots and lots of 2.5 inch squares. So that's what we've done. So we've got 3 lines. 3 going one way, and we have 4 going the other with a 1-inch piece at the top. So you just want to burnish all of those down. Now this is the important, this is the bit where you need to make sure you know where to cut and where not to cut, where to take off and where not to take off. So this is where we come back to our little drawing. So I know that I need these two to stick together. So on these flaps, I know that I need to keep these bits here. And that'll ensure that these two will connect to these two. On the top, I know that I'll also need a little flap, because that's what we normally have. We normally have some little flaps, and they'll want to be about 1 inch so they all match together. So I'm just going to grab my ruler. I hope you are following this. And what I'm going to do is just line that up. And up where this 1 inch bit is, I'm just putting a mark, okay? And then I am just going to, it doesn't have to be precise, but I'm just going to pop on a line just across there, and then I'll know to take in either side, like so, and then the same with this bit as well. So as you can see, this bit here is going to be the flap. These bits I know that I need to keep, so this flap, now I'm drawing it on, normally I would just cut in, but I'm drawing it on so that you guys can sort of see what it is I am doing. So, and then where all these lines are, that's where we'll cut. So then I know that I need to cut down here. So these bits here we're getting rid of, and this bit and all of this bit we're getting rid of. So let's come in with our scissors and let's cut this out. So we're just going to cut down here. So basically we are making a cube, a little cube box. Okay, so she did say 3 different boxes, so I hope I'm meeting the brief. But like I say, I will, you'll have seen these 2 before this video goes up, but I just thought it'd be handy to show you how I've worked out how to do my boxes. It can be very complex to do, to actually work out your measurements and stuff. It really can. That's why I always find that if I sit with a piece of paper and I work out exactly what I want to do, and I add my measurements on, then that's how I sort of work my way through it and how I work out what I need. And 9 times out of 10 it works perfectly. So yeah, I think my 3rd box will just be a standard box that I have done many times on my channel, but it's always nicer to sort of, for a refresher, isn't it? So yeah. But when I'm doing a standard box, I would do the same as the bottom, but I would just add 1/8 of an inch. So the one where at the beginning, instead of putting the piece around it, if I was putting a lid on it, then I would add 1/8 of an inch onto this bit here. So it'd be 4 1/8 and 2 and 3/8. No, 4/8, 5/8, 5/8. I think it is. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. Really do. I always wonder if it always makes sense. So this is what we have. So this bit here, this is our lid, and this bit is our base. So all we're going to do now is just fold those over. We're going to grab our glue and we're going to glue it down. So just making sure to put plenty of glue on. So this is a really good glue. This actually sticks very quickly, which is really nice. So once it grabs, it grabs. So yeah, so we're just going to stick that on there, and then lining it up with this bit, just like that. So there's that bit done. And then we're just going to grab the glue again. Now I'm to nominate 2 people, which by the time the first video, which is the second part of this video, goes up, so confusing. Yeah, I'll have nominated 2 people. I just don't know how, I don't know who I'm going to nominate. I really have no idea. So I'm going to have to think about that for the next video. Right. Okay, and then stick that on there like that. I'm actually thinking, do we do the lid actually a little bit smaller? I think you do. Because that's, oh no, there we go, and there's our box. How cool is that? So I thought you might actually have to do that smaller, but you don't. So there we are, and then you just tuck those in like so, just like that, and there you have it. You've got a little cute box. So that's how the first 2 boxes. I am going to come on, well, you'll have seen, yeah, it's all confusing. Anyway, you'll have seen the third box by now if you are a regular to my channel. If not, please do consider subscribing. Yeah, and also hitting that bell so you're notified as and when I upload my videos. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.